Welcome to Knackerbox Garage, a Scratchy Pants production.
So I haven't finished the Rickman, albeit waiting for the battery to charge. Well, it's charged, but I'll keep using that as an excuse till I finish with what I'm on at the moment. I'm now going to be working on the Guzzi, and I want to balance the carbs, and I want to make a carb balance. So I used to use one, or I made one before, using 2 Snapple bottles, some hosing, some washer fluid, and the thing I've got to make are little snubbers or little adapters. So this is a piece of quarter rod that I've actually manually drilled the hole down, which it's not quite central, but it's sort of in the middle. Anyway, it comes out the other side in the middle as well, so that's pretty good. And that is going to screw in here. I'm going to put a backing nut on it and an O-ring, and I've just literally cut the thread on it. Well, I've just cut the thread on it, you can see. So that screws in there. I'll put a backing nut on it and an O-ring to seal it, or a backing washer that I'll solder or braze in place. And I'm just about to make another one. And here's one. I'm just about to center punch it, and then I'm manually drilling it using this. So I haven't got a bench vise, otherwise I'd use this, which would be obvious, would be the right thing to use. But as I haven't got a kind of a drill press vise to hold that piece of brass in place, I am doing it by hand. Drill by hand. Got to keep pulling the drill bit out just to clear the fluid. The floor. That's through. Right through the middle. So there it is. I've just cut the thread. It's got a hole down the middle, and that will now screw into here. Like I say, I'll put a little back piece on it so I can put a an O-ring on there to get a seal. And we'll move on to making the bottles or the receptacles that we use to balance and the fluid. So I'll get set up for that before I put that back on. So we had our motorcycle club get together, and if you're unsure of which motorcycle club, that one. New England Triumph owners. I've got a collection of template toys on the top of my shelves, both sides, and together with a live Mammoth steam wagon. My buddy Al gave me one of his toy hood trucks to add to the collection, so I've just got to find a little space for it, and I've got a feeling it's going to go right there. Right in front of the steam wagon. Yeah, let's just pull him back a bit. I think that's going to look good. Look at that. There we go. There you go, Al. There it is. That's that bit. Alright, so you're here in the welder. So we're going to do a bit of aluminum welding, which is different. So it uses an AC, TIG set to AC, and you'll notice it'll sound very different. So it takes a bit of time for it to warm up the workpiece, but once it's warm, I should be able to stick some aluminum together. So let's just see. You can hear the difference. So that's a nice little aluminum weld. Hold that end together. And this is, I'll do the other end. This is going to be to hold the bottles that I'm using. This is part of my carburetor sinking kit. It's a stainless brush. This bit. There's the other one. So I flashed out a little bit, but there's the weld. Okay, so here's my homemade carb balancer. I've got 2 jars with washer fluid in it and a tube that goes all the way to the bottom of the jar that's full of fluid as well. This goes to one carb, this goes to the other. It is important that this tube just pokes through the top as opposed to all the way down, because what you don't want to do is for there to be a vacuum differential and the bike to suck fluid into the cylinder, because this is going to go into the carb inlet port. So what I'm going to do is take you off the stand and show you how it's going to work. So it works on differential pressure, differential vacuum. So when everything's sweet with the bike and the suction is the same on both cylinders, the fluid level will level out. I'll simulate the right cylinder having slightly more vacuum by sucking on the tube. You can see, and I've sucked too much because it's gone way out and I've got air bubbles, but you can see the level goes up, indicating where I've got more suction. If I suck on the left tube, they level out. Now, what you're trying to do by adjusting the slide height is to get these both the same. It's there. I know there's no graduations on it. We don't need that. We're just after balance. So what I'm going to do when I get a decent time is warm the bike up, get it running nice, get it nice and hot, get it so it can start. Then I'll put my little adapters, my tube adapters that I've made, into these ports. Here they are. Push the tube on, balance the thing on there, and then start the bike and watch the levels go. And on the Guzzi you adjust it by using the throttle stop screws. It's also kind of key to not have more fluid in, more fluid than one jar can hold, because when I sucked on it you could see I've got bubbles. Again, that's so it won't draw fluid into the cylinder and hydro lock. That would be bad. Anyway, so we're going to set it up and give this a little bit of a go. Right, so end result after balancing the carbs, and it is warm, so Okay, so I realised that you missed me balancing the carbs. I don't know whether I've deleted it, whether I didn't press record, whether the battery was flat. I can't find the clip, but I'll give you an updated version of what happened. So the carbs were a little bit way off, and I ended up with this. Just like that. So it was sucking one side, and what happens when it sucks one side is that mixture becomes weak, and then it accelerates away because the mixture's weak. So I had to reset it by blowing back in the tube and evening up the level. And then because it wants vacuum, which is done with a less opening on the throttle or the slide, smaller gap on the slide creates more vacuum on the suck side. I had to, and which sorry, I should be looking at it, which is counterintuitive. The one that was sucking has more vacuum, so I had to screw the screw in to raise the slide, and then I managed to balance it out, and I got it running roughly like that. It was roughly like that, but it was even. So I then turned it off, put the screws in, fired it up. Tick over was a bit low, so I just upped the screws a little bit either side, and now I've got it how you saw it running. My only comment on this is short fat jars aren't the way to do it, taller thin ones. So the one I did before, I used Snapple bottles, and you get a little bit more leeway in being able to adjust the mixture or the slides in and out. So I may re-engineer these with taller, thinner cylinders, or at least taller ones. So the short ball pickle jars probably aren't the best, but it worked. It got me close, and I apologise that it isn't there, or you've not seen it. But here she is, ready to go, ready for summer. And you've probably just seen a clip of it running. So there we go. And to my ever conscious friend Tammy, there are plenty of flammable things on my workbench. I've doubled up on WD-40 because that burns really well. One thing that I don't think you spotted was there's actually a can of two-stroke fuel here. So that's good. And I will do some welding. Just because I like living life on the edge, and I'll do it barefoot. In fact, when it gets really hot, I'll probably do it naked. Anyway, thanks for watching. So we're looking at my Bonneville. And here's the paint chip, and I don't know whether it was a stone chip or a tool chip or something, but that's what it is. And I got some of this stuff, motorbike paint from Motorbike Paint Shop, RS Bike Paints. So that's the colour. That is the self-etch primer. That should go on first, and I've got some clear lacquer. And I've had the bike in the garage. Let me just straighten that up. I've had the bike in the garage now for 3 days to warm up. It never goes below... The lowest it's been is 45. But during the day, it normally sticks at around 60, which is what it is now. So what I plan to do, I'm going to open the paint, try a bit of the etch primer on a spare piece of tin, which that's aluminum. That looks like steel. Yeah, that's steel. I'll just clean that off. I know it's not really the right stuff, but I'll just etch. Well, I'll just clean the grease off that using some carb cleaner. Just clean that up, and then just put a little dollop on and see how it goes. See what the brush is like. And then when I'm happy with it, I'll bring it back and we'll touch that up. I'm hoping to touch it up in situ. I know it won't be a great job, but if you look at this tank, it's got like filler marks all the way down here. It's not the best tank in the world. I know the paintwork was lovely on it. Or it has been lovely on it. Previous owner managed to do all this for us at the front. So I may just use the clear lacquer on that to seal those. But that's it. That's really all I want to do with this. Like I say, I know it's my T140 and I always keep saying I'm just going to ride it. That's what it's here for. And to be brutally honest, it is. That's exactly what it's here for. It's here to be ridden and enjoyed. And I do enjoy riding it, and it's a little bit loud and the carburetion's a little bit, but it's my T140 and it gets me around. And it is going to take me to the Bennington Bash this year. That's my goal. I'm going to put some bags on the back, and hopefully, of course, now I've got a fantastic chain guard. I should be able to put bags over the seat and take some clothing with me, and this will be my ride of choice for Bennington. God help me. Okay, so we're going to try and touch this up. I should really take the tank off, but I could be being a little bit slack. So I've got the primer here. It's very thin. I'm just gonna see if I'm just gonna do it like that. So that's the etch primer. And then what I want to do is, if I can, without getting stabbed in the face by my bike, just push the paint away. Whoa! that was eager or interesting. Yeah, that's going to fall over, isn't it? I think that's got it. So I'm going to let that dry. Let me just zoom in a little. That's the little etch primer. I'm going to get the white mixed up. I'm going to get the white mixed up when that's dried and just touch that up and do the same thing and go around the edge and try and build it. Hopefully it's a bit thicker. If not, I'll end up having to take the tank off because obviously it sags down. And the brushes probably aren't the best brushes in the world for painting. And then once I've got the white on there, I can then go over it with the lacquer, the clear lacquer finish, and maybe do a bit of polishing of that. But that's going to dry now. I don't think it needs that long, but we'll leave it for a bit and then I'll have a go at touching up with the white. So hopefully this comes out, but I'm just going to try and do a little test of the, let's see, this is the Alabaster Pure White. Oh, it's the right colour too. See how that does. Yeah, that's the colour. Right, we'll leave that to dry and see how that does. Alrighty, so we're going to give it a go. I've got the white in the hand. It's a little bit thicker. We'll see how this goes. So I've got my super delicate rug that I'm doing it on. I'm trying not to get my hand in the way, but let's be honest, paint is what we're really into there. And I honestly think I'm just going to leave it like that. So it's going to dry back satin. I know it's not the exact match. I'm going to let that go and just dry. And then what I'm going to do is I'll put some more on a little bit later and just try and fill in the cracks, and then we'll put some gloss on it, some lacquer on it, and that'll be it. It's better than it was, and that'll stop it flaking off more. Like I say, this poor old bike isn't perfect by a long shot, but it is rideable, and I do enjoy riding it, which is what it's for. So I put another couple of coats, touch-up coats on the spot. I'm going to let that dry, and then tomorrow we will be using the Gloss Lacquer. I know I keep showing the brand. I have never used this before, and it wasn't cheap. I think it comes from the UK, and I think the total for these 3 little bottles was like $70, which is a lot, but hopefully it works well. And knowing how many different variations of white there isn't just one white, there's several. This one is pretty close, and of course the tank's been repainted, so I have no idea if that's the original alabaster white that it should have had. So it's a bit of a gamble, but hopefully I'll do a test on this little piece here, which had the cover on. I'll just paint a bit of lacquer on that, and we'll see how that looks, and then I'll give it a try. Well, there they all are. Well, there's 6 of them. So the Bonneville's all done. Paintwork is touched up. If you look from here and have the where I am, the clutch cables over the lump, it only stands out a lot, but at least it won't rust. So she's ready to ride. The BSA, I did get that ready to go. When it warms up a little bit, I will try and get that one going. That'll be another video for us to enjoy. And then the other thing that I would like to, I'd maybe put, I really like these little indicators. They're super bright and neat and unobtrusive. These are those are pretty bright as well, but they're fugly as sin. So I may replace those. Anyway, next project is the blash plate for the Bultaco, which is here. That's what it's going to be. I did pre-drill one of the holes, so the next thing to do is we're going to get the Ricky off the bench. It's listing to one side, but we'll get the Ricky off the bench, we've got the Bultaco up, and then I'll have a bit more room, or a little less room, and then we'll start on the Bultaco. But I think this could be the end of this episode. This is going to be embarrassing if it isn't, but I think this could be the end of this episode, so we could have a whole Bultaco only episode. Bultaco. I don't know why I said it like that.